Well, here we are, back on site at Treehouse. It's now several months after we were first here and the last blog post went up, and this is where we're at. Everything's still here. The tarpaulin's a bit full of water, so we've got lots of lovely droopy pockets of water, and the ground is rock solid, totally dried out, even with all the rain we've had recently. It's absolutely rock solid and completely dry, which is fantastic. All our wood is still here that we left in situ. It's all still there. And the treehouse remains in place. The legs are still sturdy, it's all still level. Success. Good morning, welcome to, well, I guess it's day 2, but it's day 1 of build, of the Treehouse Build, the second instalment. It's Friday today, we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do building. Yesterday was lugging all the stuff, the enormous amount of wood that we've collected. Big thanks to Reynolds Timber, Birkenhead, for helping us out. They have given us things such as all of this shiplap, featherboard, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of it's kind of a bit bent, a bit twisted, or it's odd lengths or weirdness, so it's no use to them, but it's a lot of use to us. So we've got quite a lot of that, as you can see there. Also from Reynolds we got lots of odds and ends of random bits of length of 3x2, which again for them no use at all, but great use for us. Most of that's come from them. This stuff, these are called skids. This is essentially about 3 inches wide, 3/4 inch thick, and 3 to 4 foot long. They are packing pieces from in between pallets of shiplap, and they're basically scrap, but for us they're just brilliant. They're going to make some fantastic wall coverings and things, hopefully. More odds and ends of 3x2 and 2x2 and all kinds of stuff there. Lengths of wall building structural bits. A lot of that's come from Reynolds again. A lot of it's also come from pallets and industrial sized pallets from sheet metal companies and things like that, where they break their pallets, and then we just scavenge the bits. Assorted odds and ends, bits of random bits, some tongue and groove board from a health club that was being shut down in Liverpool. There's a bunch of tools in there behind. I'll go this way around. Behind there, they're more skids, but they're different wood. They're wider, heavier wood. They're wider planks as well, but there's a big stack of skids there again, so that'll do for wall coverings. And then in here, more random plywood, again from Reynolds. Odds and ends, cuts of plywood, sort of 6-8 inches wide, but 8 foot long, cut off sheets. And here, this is the sauna from the health club that was being shut down in Liverpool. They were just gutting this place out, turning it into a supermarket, and we managed to get quite a bit of 3x2 from there as well. A lot of the 3x2 came from there, and there stood partition walls that they were ripping out. If I got there a couple of days earlier, then I could have had a whole lot more, but it was buried in the skip, unfortunately. And then some random bits of fence panel and things again from Reynolds that weren't quite perfect, so weren't able to be sold to customers, but for us it was fine. And we've got our shelter up for the weekend, and we will crack on shortly. But first, bacon butty time. Morning, Greg.
Morning, sir.
And the smell of bacon is amazing, floating in the air, and I'm going to eat some now. Bye.
Chuckle, brother.
Yep.
bit more. No, it's not coming round. Sorry, Barty. Right, which way again?
That bloody little
notch there. Someone needs to climb a ladder with a hatchet.
Is it like watching some sort of kid television show?
With guys with moustaches.
I don't want to alarm you, Greg, but you're on camera.
Oh, hello. Right,
You caught us at a bad moment there.
I need to knock that. I need to knock that off. With a hatchet.
Hold on, can you hold on to it?
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
That is the last leg going in.
Well, welcome to day 2 of the second build weekend. This is Mr. Dog's Body, and you can see Mr. Jimbo up top. Say hello, Mr. Jimbo.
Hello.
That's Capitan Dog Body.
Right, we're very happy, we're very excited, because we've reached a very exciting stage where all the stilts are in. So, a bit more of a stilt house than a tree house, but never mind. We'll take you for a quick tour. So, this is one stilt in the very corner. There she is. Next stilt in the middle is a bit of a narrower stilt with a nice V in the top for us to prop something. There's that stilt. Oh, next to the main entrance. And then this is the next heavy stilt. If you make your way up, you see.
I love stilts.
You love stilts. Just in the corner there, you can see how we've cut the trunk of the post to fit neatly into the rafters. And then obviously you know already you've got the square stilts. There's that one and that one. Going on to the far side, you've got another really chunky one in the corner. We'll take you way up there, and you can see we've notched it and cut it in. A lot of faffing that took, but it's well worth it. This one's a nice thin one in the middle, still supporting it, down to a foot there. And the last one, the old one, this is a bit of a bugger. We had to change that. We had to mess around with it a lot, take it out, put it back in again, because this one had sunk, strangely enough. But you can see it's quite a high one, good 20-footer there. So now all the stilts are in, and we are now up to the stage of making triangulations. What do you call them? Triangulations or braces that go from about there, diagonally, up there, to stop the whole treehouse from rocking. So a very exciting point. Stilts are in. We're all very tired, but we've managed to get this far.
We are doing the legs are in dance.
The legs are in dance. Boo, 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 boo. Well, this is day 3, Sunday, of our second build weekend, and this is the wonderful site, the mess.
Hello there.
And this is how far we've got. Stilts, cross bracing in all the corners, which is rather good. And we've just started putting the plywood up to the floor. So let's have a wander up. Let's wander up and see where Mr. Say hello, James.
Hello.
This is tools and screws and things. And this is the start of something beautiful. The floor's going in a matter of minutes. Oh, Ollie and Sarah down there. Ollie and Sarah, say hello. Hello. And they're playing with Callie, our supervisor, the chocolate Labrador. Yeah, so the flooring's about to go in. This is all the plywood. There's the stuff. Yeah, we'll show you how it goes in a minute.
Hello. So we are fitting the floor using lots of noisy tools that aren't going down too well with the younger silver. Picked a great moment to start filming when James disappears and just makes lots of noise. But today progress has been made, and when we go under the treehouse, there is light not coming through in many places. And the site is looking particularly lovely today. Glorious weather, beautiful countryside, lots of hard-working boys.
Well, just after lunch on day 3 of the build. There's a stand of hazel. We've coppiced a little to get the stilts that we needed. If you follow down the garden this way, you can just about see some of the Cox family, young Edward and Hannah, down at the base there, next to some shed panels we're going to use for walls. And you can see a lovely babbling brook, stream, beck, small river. I don't know what you call that. It's beautiful though, isn't it? What a great place to build a treehouse. Here we are. James on a newly built platform.
Hello.
You see from underneath here, you see the joists, and you can make out the plywood floor panels they're screwing in. It's a bit of a jigsaw to finish over here. Trying to cut pieces to fit small sections. So they're just finishing off cutting and drilling those in. We've preserved the feet now They're all lathered in this delightfully smelling wood preserve. All the base of the stilts.
Hello.
There we go. Let's go and have a little look. See how they're doing. So we can get the ladder straight.
I'm gonna go. See you later.
Johnny's happy. Johnny's been working on some floorboards with us.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly dragged in, basically slave labour. Here we go.
Johnny.
We're very appreciative. Remnants of our first tea break. There's a view into the pond. It's a bit sludgy and algae-ish, but it's a pond. It's our pond nevertheless. These are two beams that'll be the balcony. James getting in last with the floorboard. And this is what a completed floor, plywood floor of a treehouse looks like. It's steady and everything. It's amazing. What do you say, Mr. Cox? Are you happy with today's progress?
Yes, it's floor day.
And
Day 3 of this build is floor day.
And how much of this floor was installed just today?
All of it. 100% of this floor is installed today.
It's just a couple of hours work and we've got a floor. It's brilliant. Hours of
I'm
fun.
very pleased about it. Very pleased.
Yeah. Great views down the garden.
For the first time, we can really appreciate just how beautiful our
How beautiful
setting is.
setting. Let's check out those hills up there. It's amazing, isn't it?
That's a beautiful vista up the hills of the wood.
And they
up
said we would never get around to it.
there.
That's what
And they said it would never happen.
mostly our wives
Shows what they know.
never get around to it. Ha! Well, we can certainly stand on a platform in the tree. It's not got a tree house yet, but we're getting there.
Well, it's the end of the weekend. It's 8:15. It's getting pretty dark, as you can tell. We have tidied up, and what we have done is put all of the wood, the sauna, all the structural bits, long and short and everything, are all up on there, because you won't be able to see this underneath, unless I perhaps do this. There we go. We've got a floor on, so it is floored out underneath. All the plywood has been laid down. There was some left over. It's a single skin of 12mm ply, which isn't a lot, but we're going to put floorboardy bits on top of that to give it extra rigidity. And it's still all standing. And then we've put the big white tarpaulin over the top of the whole lot, or two big white tarpaulins actually. Secured it all down in a big tent sort of shape, so that should keep all the wood dry. Bits of shed there. Those bits of shed over there are covering a pile of skids to keep those clean and dry. And then here we have a big long sort of wood shed made of bits of shed and tarpaulins, which you can't see it all in there, but there's piles of skids, piles of shiplap, there's piles of plank, there's all sorts of bits. And then here is the odds and sods pile, again covered with a couple of fence panels to sort of keep the worst of the weather off. So that's all odds and sods bits there. That's Greg.
Hello.
Looking tired. That's James.
Hello.
Also looking tired. And that's me looking really tired.
A good weekend.
But a brilliant weekend.
We've got 2 kids between us as well.
Yeah, we've had to do childcare whilst doing all of this as well, along with the wonderful help of our wives, Sarah and Hannah, to look after Edward and Ollie, or Ollie and Edward, respectively. Jane wasn't here this weekend, unfortunately, because she's got a baby in her belly and it's making her very poorly. So, hooray for the baby and boo for the sick. So, well done, Greg and Jane, for producing a little human. Well done, Jane, for growing it.
In the oven.
In the oven. The bun is in the oven. Red fox, the bun is in the oven. And that's about that, really. Any last words?
It's been a good weekend. We're all a bit pooped, but we've made really big progress, which is really cool. We're one step closer to the dream of Treehouse Joy.
James?
Stick with it. It'll come right in the end.
Wise words. Bye.